eerie start to Friday, what some residents awoke to overnight. Reduced to rubble, a Saskatchewan community mourns the loss of their only church. And the new facility making a splash in Prince Albert.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a string of vehicle fires. Investigators with the Saskatoon Police Service and the fire department are looking into what they say are suspicious fires. John Flatters spoke to one man who witnessed one of them.
Caswell Hill resident Mark Kleiner captured this video of a car fire outside his home this morning. He was up late working on a church sermon when he saw a fireball from his window.
I just banged off a sermon, was working on about 3 songs, and I see this fireball at my front window, at which point I immediately think Moses in the burning bush, and I'm taking off my sandals, but no, it's my neighbor, my dear neighbor's car, aflame across the street.
He called 911 and firefighters responded. That's when he learned that this wasn't the only car fire last night.
My poor neighbor down the street got cold cocked by apparently the same individual and another vehicle, and then another friend just on Walmer Road. He had his car torched. So apparently this car was the third one.
Saskatoon police say they responded to 7 vehicles on fire in the area. The first at 2:45 a.m. on Saskatchewan Avenue, where 4 vehicles were on fire. Then at 4 a.m., this fire on Rusholme Road. Police responded to another vehicle fire at the same time on Avenue G North. A police service dog was used to try and find a suspect, but found no one. The last incident was on Avenue C North at around 5 a.m.
They didn't mention anything. It's just another day in the life of 2025, right?
Kleiner says the incident has inspired the community to get better acquainted with each other.
It is a bit of an incentive to get better connected as neighbors, right? Like it's just not enough to be doom scrolling on Facebook to be connected with other people. Like it's just, we got to go beyond that and actually do the old school, knock on doors, shake hands, exchange numbers, and be there for each other.
No injuries were reported, and an investigation by SPS Arson and the fire investigator is underway. John Flatters, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A church on the Thunderchild First Nation northwest of the Battlefords, which housed more than just worship services, has been destroyed by fire. As Carla Shinkerick tells us, the pastors of the church are prepared to stay strong and keep the community spirit alive despite the loss.
This was Monday morning on the Thunderchild First Nation, the community's only church, a gospel church, going up in flames.
As soon as they opened that door and we saw the black smoke and we saw all the fire coming out, we were all crying, devastated.
The First Nation is north of North Battleford. Alvina and her husband, Fred Thunderchild, are the pastors of the church, buying it from the Catholic Church last year. Community members doing the renovations, including adding a kitchen, washrooms, and a fresh coat of paint. The community choosing the bright blue.
It was almost to the point of completion, and we were going to be talking about having a grand opening.
RCMP confirmed on September 1st around 8 a.m. Turtleford RCMP received a report of a structure fire on Thunderchild First Nation. Officers and local fire services responded. The investigation remains ongoing, which includes how the fire started. Anyone with information can contact police or Crime Stoppers. No injuries have been reported, and there are local theories on what happened, according to the head of Public Works, who oversees the local fire department.
Somebody had broken into the building itself. What they done was peel back some of the metal. There was a couple things found outside, like speakers.
He said it took 4 hours to get the fire under control. The Thunderchild are most saddened by seeing all of the work that community members put into the church destroyed.
We don't fight naturally. We do it through prayer. We expect changes to what we pray for our people, because we're concerned about them.
They say the more than 50-year-old landmark blue building was more than a church for the community, and they hope to rebuild.
We're not giving up. This is not, the building is burnt, yeah, but our faith is not. Our faith still stands.
Also still standing, the metal cross out front, reflecting their spirit to continue to worship. Carla Shinkerick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 35-year-old man is facing charges accused of intentionally setting a grass fire north of Prince Albert. Fire crews and police were called to Highway 2 just north of Prince Albert on Wednesday afternoon. They were told the fire may have been intentionally set. The 35-year-old man from the Little Red River First Nation was found near the fire scene and charged with 1 count of arson, damage to property, and failing to comply with his probation order that instructed him not to have devices such as lighters or matches. A former Saskatoon music teacher has been charged with sexually assaulting a minor. Saskatoon police say 87-year-old Raymond Eldon McCarg moved to Saskatoon in 1977, teaching piano and organ lessons at a music store in the city and at his home on Churchill Drive. Police say he had been teaching those lessons until 2020. Last month, police charged McCarg with committing an act of gross indecency, sexual interference with a person under the age of 14, and sexual assault. Police laid the charge after they were told of at least one boy who was a student of his between 1984 and 1988 who reported to be sexually assaulted. Police believe there could be more victims in the community and are encouraging them to come forward, as sex crimes are not bound by a statute of limitation. 2 people associated with a conspiracy group living in the village of Richmond made their first court appearances in Swift Current today. A woman who claims to be the Queen of Canada is among those charged. Donovan Mace has the details from court.
Walking into a Swift Current courtroom proclaiming herself Her Majesty the Queen Romana Didulo I, the leader of a Saskatchewan-based conspiracy group, says she does not abide by the statutes of Canada's criminal code, requesting the judge immediately release her.
Remember, innocent until proven guilty, huh?
Didulo rearrested Thursday after originally being released from custody following an RCMP raid of the group's compound in the village of Richmond Wednesday. She faces 1 count of failing to comply with a court order and 1 count of intimidating a justice system participant. Justice Alan Jacobson revealing in court the intimidation charge relates to 4 individuals, including a police officer. Now, over the course of the hearing, Didulo repeatedly objecting the charges against her, choosing to represent herself over the course of proceedings.
I requested under natural law court only and did not give consent to statutory law.
Ricky Mans, the owner of the former school in which Didulo's group resides, also rearrested Thursday on charges of intimidation and failing to comply. Mans also arraigned on multiple other offenses related to previous incidents, including assault. He, too, making references to natural law language, but is seeking the assistance of legal aid. Both Didulo and Mans are scheduled for bail hearings on Monday morning. Donovan May, CTV News, Swift Current.
Well, Laura, the day started off cool again, but the sun was nice to see.
The sun peeked through, and it wasn't so bad of a day, less windy than it was yesterday, so that was some good news. It looks like there's some good news in store for our weekend as well. We just have to get through this overnight temperatures. Things are going to be cool tonight. We might see some frost as temperatures dip down to -1. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
The Prime Minister announcing today a $370 million production incentive to help the country's canola producers, primarily in Saskatchewan. The new production incentive was launched to address challenges imposed by China's tariffs on Canadian canola. Last month, China launched a near 76% tariff on canola, a measure believed to be in response to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. Yesterday, Ottawa announced Canada's parliamentary secretary would be joining Premier Scott Moe on his trip to China to smooth over trade ties and make the case that China's 76% tariff on Canadian canola can be lifted.
We will make targeted amendments to the clean fuel regulations to spur the development of a vibrant biofuels industry in Canada. And we'll increase the loan limits for Canadian canola producers to $500,000 and invest in agri-marketing and trade diversification measures to support our entire agriculture and seafood sectors.
Premier Scott Moe says he is grateful to see supports for canola producers, but his focus remains on the removal of Chinese canola tariffs as he prepares to travel to the country tomorrow. The final budget for Saskatoon's new downtown library is $16 million more than first forecast. The budget was originally estimated to be $134 million. It's now set at $150 million. The library's administration and board of trustees says the additional resources will be fully drawn from existing library reserves. The average homeowner in Saskatoon will see an increase of $1.60 a year for the library levy to fund the capital project in 2026. There will be no increases in 2027.
The team has worked really hard over the past few years to make sure that we're delivering a really fantastic transformational building, but doing so within our means, within the funding plan, and really respecting that value for money.
The new library, which will replace the current Francis Morrison Library in downtown Saskatoon, is slated to be completed in 2027. Saskatchewan's unemployment rate is among the lowest among the provinces. Job numbers for August show Saskatchewan's unemployment rate was 4.7% compared to the national average of 7.1%. The province says Saskatchewan saw record growth with 16,500 full-time jobs added since last August. It also says a record 534,300 people were employed in August. On the national front, Statistics Canada says nationally the economy shed 65,500 jobs last month. That's a level of unemployment not seen since May of 2016, excluding the worst years of the pandemic. The biggest losses were seen in transportation and manufacturing, as well as professional, scientific, and technical services. Newfoundland has the highest unemployment rate at 10.7%. The NDP is criticizing the province for its oil price predictions in the budget that missed the mark by millions of dollars. The province estimated the oil price for 2025-26 at $71 per barrel, but today's price is $10 less. The government's oil price estimations are based off of predictions by TD Bank and Scotiabank. The NDP says the Sask party's over-projection of oil prices will cost Saskatchewan millions.
For every $1 the Sask party missed on its oil projection, the province loses $18 million on an annualized basis. When we lose an extra $180 million, which is about where we are right now, being down $10, every single man, woman, and child and business in this province feels it when the government is so bad at what they do.
The Saskatchewan Party says oil prices in the budget are an annualized prediction based on the average of private sector forecasts. It accuses the NDP of criticizing but failing to explain how it would project the oil prices. Prince Albert's newest recreation facility is now open. As Jasmine Pelche reports, Lake Country Co-op Leisure Centre now welcoming the public.
Following a soft opening in late August, the city of Prince Albert cut the ribbon on the Lake Country Co-op Leisure Centre aquatic facility Friday morning.
This facility will encourage active living, which we know contributes to positive mental and physical health. It'll support teamwork, sport, competition, community gathering opportunities.
Construction on the project began in 2022, and it opened gradually throughout 2025, beginning with the twin rinks earlier this year. The 47,000 square foot aquatic area's water slides, wave pool, and lane pool are now open for use. The $117 million project is partially funded through a $20 million commitment from the province and $24 million from the federal government. The city will cover the remaining $73 million. The city says this is the largest recreational infrastructure project in Prince Albert's history. The large-scale project began under former Mayor Greg Dion and a different city council.
This took 10 years to get. So when you finally get to the end of the road and you see what we built for the kids, and that's what people don't understand. They didn't build it for me. We built it for the kids and my grandkids. And the future of the community is going to be great with this facility.
Lake Country Co-op secured naming rights for 25 years with a $10 million contribution to the project. The Prince Albert Kinsmen are the title sponsor for the wave pool with a $450,000 commitment. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
The Saskatoon Police Service has a new deputy chief. Dale Soley has been appointed to the position for a 5-year term. Soley has been with the Saskatoon Police Service for 36 years and has recently been serving as acting deputy chief. He was first hired as a special constable in 1989 before being sworn in as an officer in 1990. Through the years, he has worked in bike patrol, traffic, public safety, tactical support before becoming a superintendent and now deputy chief. The 50th edition of the Toronto International Film Festival is underway. Jeff is taking it in and has more from Toronto.
TIFF is well underway. Tonight we still have some big premieres. We have a couple of Oscar winners and brand new movies. Cillian Murphy in Steve and Ralph Fiennes in The Corral. So a couple of big movies opening tonight, but we're premiering last night. Star of the show, it kicked off the 50th anniversary edition of TIFF. It was John Candy, I Like Me, produced by Ryan Reynolds and directed by Colin Hanks. And we had a chance to catch up with them earlier in the day.
Gus Walensky, Polka King of the Midwest. Del Griffith, Director of Sales, Shower Curtain Ring Division.
This is a lovable guy. This is a guy who, the minute you see his face, you're going to smile.
He was amazingly funny.
Thank you.
Ryan called me up and basically sort of said, I don't want to live in a world where there is not a documentary about John Candy. And I said, I think I agree. I don't want to live in that world either. And then he said, I think you should direct it. And I said, wait a minute, stop. And we ended up just having a lovely sort of conversation about if we were to do that, like what would that actually be?
For me, it's nostalgia too. I think nostalgia is the greatest drug on earth, and you know, John had a way about him that really brought people together, and still does to this day. I look at, you know, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and that performance of Del Griffith. I believe that would be nominated for an Academy Award if that were to come out in this moment.
I think for our family, we were at a place where we were ready to share more, and I think we had a better understanding of what he was going through. There was all types of psychological stuff that we kind of had to understand about him, and then if we were going to ever entrust anybody to tell that story, we wanted to make sure we had an understanding of what was going on, and it was just the perfect timing for it. Yes, it's a little late, but
better late than never.
We thought the true Hollywood story would be enough, but
Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me.
A fighter jet from the Cold War era has landed in Regina. This Fuga Magister was built in France and served as a training jet with the French Air Force. An armed version served in several conflicts around the world. The plane is now owned by Golden Era Aviation and based at the Regina Airport. This bucket list experience is one of 2 locations in Canada where a civilian can take to the skies in a former Air Force fighter jet. Top speed is 400 knots or about 750 kilometers per hour. The aircraft has been fully restored and available for those seeking a Top Gun flight experience.
It starts off with a little bit of banking, and we work the angle of bank up a little bit more just to see how they're coping with it, and introducing a little bit of G-force. We start off at sort of 1.5 and then work it up to 2.5, 3G. If everything's going well there and they want to see a little bit more, then we can do some loops and rolls and a few what we call gentlemen's aerobatics.
This vintage fighter jet will be one of many aircraft on display at the Regina Flying Club open house this weekend. Still to come, 2 Canadians are among those confirmed dead in Lisbon, and the Prime Minister announces new supports amid the trade war with the U.S. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. The James Smith Cree Nation is sending its support to the Hollow Water First Nation in Manitoba, where yesterday's stabbing attacks left a woman dead and 7 others injured. Tonight, we are learning more about the suspect. Police say the woman who died was the suspect's sister, and according to court records, the 26-year-old was out on bail. Jeff Keel on the charges he was facing.
The suspect, who police say killed his sister and wounded 7 others in a mass stabbing on Hollowwater First Nation, was out on bail at the time of the attack. Court records show 26-year-old Tyrone Simard was facing charges of assault with a weapon and 3 counts of mischief from June 8th. 4 days later, he was granted bail for those charges and alleged offenses from 2017 of sex assault, sexual interference, and sexual touching. Court heard there were a number of conditions placed on Simard's release that he was required to follow, including that he abide by an absolute curfew, he not possess any weapons, he was not allowed to have alcohol or drugs, and he was barred from having contact with 4 people. CTV News listened to a recording of the court proceedings where Simard was asked if he understood the conditions. He replied, yes. Early Thursday morning, RCMP responded to Hollowwater First Nation, where they said 8 people were stabbed in 2 homes. Later in the day, yellow police tape surrounded the scene as forensic teams continued to investigate. Mounties say Simard died in a highway crash while fleeing the scene in a stolen vehicle. He collided with an RCMP cruiser. The officer inside was responding to the emergency. The officer was injured in the crash and sent to hospital, but is expected to recover.
The Prime Minister is forging ahead with new measures he says will support the Canadian economy in the face of a trade war with the U.S. Mark Carney is introducing a Buy Canadian policy and tariff relief for certain sectors. He's also hitting pause on the electric vehicle sales mandate. Abigail Beeman takes us through what we know so far.
We will build big, build bold, build Canadian.
Touring a plant in the Greater Toronto area, the Prime Minister laid out Ottawa's plans to help Canadian industries in the face of a trade war, including help for those impacted by tariffs with a new $5 billion fund and specific help for the canola sector, hard hit by Chinese tariffs last month.
What will be important here is to see how the federal government and provincial governments work with the business community to really identify what those needs are, support them, and work closely with labor organizations and the workers themselves.
And the Prime Minister is pausing the 2026 electric vehicle target while reviewing the overall mandate.
He's finally admitted that the Conservatives were right, just like we were right on the carbon tax. But he's doing a clumsy retreat, saying that he's going to delay this mandate.
Mark Carney also promising more federal action for the Buy Canadian movement.
The government's introducing a new comprehensive Buy Canadian policy that will move from best efforts to Buy Canadian to a clear obligation to do so.
No word on what that means for the deal to buy American F-35 fighter jets, still under review by the government, while a new climate competitiveness strategy was announced as coming soon.
I'm glad to hear that we are finally hearing a little bit about climate change from the new Prime Minister, who has been, eerily silent on this issue.
In addition to a new climate strategy, the Prime Minister also promised a new defense strategy to support defense spending he described as, quote, enormous, and all this against the backdrop of a looming fall budget to explain how all the investment and austerity will be balanced. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The family of an Ontario man who was allegedly shot by a 12-year-old say the last few weeks have been a nightmare, not only as they come to grips with the nature of the violent crime, but also to find out that the child was released on bail twice. Adrian Gobriel spoke to the uncle of the victim, who still fears for his safety.
With a black hood pulled over their face, wearing white gloves, gun drawn, this security video shows an individual crossing the road and then crouching down as they move closer to their target for the surprise attack. Police have arrested a 12-year-old boy.
How difficult is that for you, your nephew, your family to come to terms with?
It was quite disturbing for all of us because we all have, I have young kids.
Junad Razvi has asked that we not show his face because the young boy who police allege shot his 30-year-old nephew is now out on bail.
As you can imagine, that is something to be quite fearful about, something to be highly concerned about.
CTV News has learned that the alleged child shooter, now charged with attempted murder and discharging a firearm with intent, was already out on bail at the time of this shooting.
That's exactly what makes it so disturbing and shocking.
That's why we are, once again, appealing for reform to the bail system. This is not about politics. It's about safety. The system's broken.
Following this and other shocking acts of violence, Prime Minister Mark Carney announcing today that bail reform legislation will be tabled in the coming weeks.
Can it come soon enough for you and your family?
This is something that can't wait months. This needs to be done ASAP.
Following this shooting, the victim managed to reverse out of the driveway and flee the scene as the gunman and getaway vehicle gave chase.
Adrian Gabriel, CTV News.
2 Canadians have been confirmed to be among those killed in the derailment of a streetcar in Lisbon. A couple identified as Andre Bergeron and Blonzon Doe. Flowers, candles, and balloons line a sidewalk in Lisbon close to the crash site. A silent tribute to the 16 victims of Wednesday's disaster. Bergeron's brother says the couple from Quebec was on the last day of a birthday trip. Those killed in the incident also include 5 Portuguese nationals, 3 British citizens, 2 South Koreans, 1 American, 1 French, 1 Swiss, and 1 Ukrainian. Another 21 people are injured. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned today any foreign troops deployed to Ukraine before a peace agreement is reached would be considered legitimate targets by Moscow.
Что касается возможных контингентов воинских в
Putin's comments came just hours after countries in the so-called coalition of the willing, including Canada, pledged their commitment to a potential peacekeeping force. Putin did promise that Russia would comply with any potential treaty that included that security guarantee. U.S. President Donald Trump says discussion of the idea and how Washington's role is actively ongoing. All right, Laura, it's not a great time to be an outdoor plant.
No, you should bring them inside because there is a risk of frost overnight tonight. And we just have to get through that, and it should shape up to be a pretty nice weekend. We did see temperatures slightly below seasonal, so a little cooler of a day, but less wind than we saw yesterday. 16 degrees right now in Saskatoon, 12 in Prince Albert, and 17 in the Battlefords. And as we take a look at our daily almanac, 17 was the high today, typical high for this time of year, 21. 4 degrees was the low, 7 is the typical low for this time, so slightly cooler than normal. 35 degrees, wouldn't that be nice? 1978 was the record set, -3. 1972 is the record low, and we're losing a few more minutes of sunshine with the sun setting at 7:43. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
Coming up, foosball friends are winning big. The Canadians making a name for themselves on the international stage.
Well, beautiful evening here in Saskatoon. Temperatures getting cooler, though. As mentioned, there is a risk of frost by Environment Canada. So plants, they need to come inside because it looks like it's going to get cool tonight. Might dip down to even -1 degree. But hey, right now, clear skies, gorgeous out there. And we might see a little bit of fog overnight, too. But I'll get out of the way here and we'll take a look at our radar and satellite map. Nothing out of the ordinary to report. Yesterday, we saw that system moving through, so looks a little more bare today. 16 right now in Saskatoon, 12 in Prince Albert, and sunshine, and 17 degrees in the Battlefords. Once again, the hot spot today was Leader at 20 degrees. The cold spot was Collins Bay at 7 degrees. That was as high as it got in Collins Bay, so quite chilly out there. Currently in Lloydminster, 19 degrees, 12 in Yorkton, heading to Regina, 14 degrees, and even cooler in Estevan at 13 degrees, feeling quite the same in Waskesiu at 13, Meadow Lake 17, and as we head up north, even chillier, hovering around 10 degrees. Down south, Leader looks warm still, even at this time, 20 degrees. Maple Creek also quite nice, and Easton at 18 degrees, so pretty nice evening over there, not getting as cold as Saskatoon. A look at our future cast, you can see a little bit of cloud coverage coming through. No watches and warnings at this time, although there is a risk of frost, as I mentioned, and I'll continue to mention. Here we'll go to the north tomorrow. Cloudy skies in La Ronge, sunshine in Stony Rapids. West Central Saskatchewan seeing that sunshine and around 22 degrees, quite the same for southwestern Saskatchewan. Southeast eastern Saskatchewan, a little cooler in Yorkton at 16 degrees. Sunny skies, though, in east central Saskatchewan, around 20 degrees. Depending what time of day, we're in September, so of course in the evening a little chillier, in the morning a little chillier, but mid-afternoon pretty nice. Tonight in the Battlefords, a risk of frost and some fog coming in overnight, and then tomorrow should dissipate by 9 a.m. and sunny skies at 22 degrees, a low of 5. And then into next week, pretty nice, above seasonal temperature for sure on Sunday with a high of 27 and a low of 9. And taking a look at Prince Albert now. A risk of frost overnight. That's kind of the theme for Prince Albert, the Battlefords, and Saskatoon. And then tomorrow, some sunshine and warmer temperatures at 19 degrees, a low of 3. And into next week, mid-20s above seasonal temperatures. Overnight in Saskatoon, 1 degree might dip down into the -1 overnight with that chilly winds. You can see they're picking up at around 20 kilometers an hour, and then will ease up by tomorrow just at 6 kilometers an hour, coming in from the east-southeast, and the fog is clearing up by the morning, and we should see a pretty nice day with that sunshine, high of 21, low of 4, and then Sunday even nicer, high of 26, low of 9 degrees. And then for the rest of our week, check out those temperatures above seasonal, mid-20s with a mix of sun and cloud.
I don't really need a reason to star you. It's all you. Don't pretend I got a reason to call you.
The Biebs, Justin Bieber released his new double album Swag 2 this morning. The album was a few hours late. Bieber posting on social media overnight saying there was a problem uploading it to Spotify and Apple Music. In one post, he writes, "I'm sorry for the wait. They're telling me any second." This album is part 2 to the first Swag album, which was released on July 11th.
Are you boys sure you're okay with getting to the plane tomorrow without me? I could stay another night just to make sure you get home okay.
It's one night, Brad. We'll be fine.
The Jonas Brothers are sharing details of a holiday movie they've been working on. A very Jonas Christmas movie was filmed in Toronto, but tells the story of the band trying to make their way home to New York from London to spend their holiday with their families. It debuts November 14th.
Unwise to lower your defenses.
An iconic piece of cinema history held by Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise has sold for millions at auctions. Vader's iconic red lightsaber went for more than $3.6 million US. The lightsaber was one of several famous movie and television props included in Prop Store's 3-day entertainment Memorabilia live auction in Los Angeles. Other items included the whip used by Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and Michael Keaton's Batman suit. I didn't even know it was for sale. I would have made a bid.
You would have saved up, I know.
Yes.
But you know what? Your picks of the day are priceless, so there you go.
Oh, thank you. We have a couple from Labor Day, some great shots that were sent to us. We'll start with Doris. This one was sent to us by Doris Duke, and a beautiful shot there from Rowan's Ravine, and taken on Labor Day, and I just love the colors here, and a calm, beautiful night, so thanks so much. The next one sent to us by Jeff, and he says Labor Day, this was taken at Mosaic Stadium, of course. He says after the sunset and the moon came out. So pretty cool, a rare shot there. And he says a beautiful night out there. And I tend to agree. Gorgeous. Thanks so much, Jeff, for sending that to us. And our final shot is sent to us by James. And this was taken yesterday. He says a wee bit windy yesterday. I agree, during the walk, but at least there was a rainbow. So pretty cool. Pretty cool shot. And what a great view for a walk. Thanks so much, James, for sending that in, and thanks to Jeff and Doris as well. If you have a picture you'd like to send to us, you can email it at cfqcnews@ctv.ca.
Still to come on CTV News, a battle for first place when the Hilltops meet a bitter rival. But up next, meet the Canucks making noise at the World Championships. Two Canadians are scoring big on the international stage, dominating the field of foosball. They managed to net a win at the World Foosball Championships in New Orleans. CTV's Jessica Smith caught up with the duo.
Mario Argonalo, Kane Gabriel, who are your 2025 Open Doubles World Champions.
The World Foosball Championship just wrapped up in New Orleans, and two Canadians came out on top in doubles play.
I wanted it for so long. I wanted to be, the world's best for so long, and to finally do it, and have the support of Canada and my friends, it's really sweet.
Mario Argonalo and Kane Gabriel took home the title of World Doubles Champions, the first Canadians to achieve the accolade.
So my partner, Kane Gabriel, from the beginning of the weekend, even prior to, he's like, this is our year. This is our year, Mario. This is our year. He's like, I wrote it in my journal.
Like our world champions, they are mentally really strong. Because, yes, it's your man on the table playing against their man with the ball, but really it's you're playing head-to-head mentally against the opponent.
The Toronto team representing the Toronto Foosball Club in Canada say what put them over the top was their bond.
I love Canada, but that was not in my head. My head would just focus on winning with my best friend.
Level of play in the sport varies from beginner to masters like Mario and Kane, but what does it take to be a top-tier table soccer player?
Look at others, how are other people playing, and try to understand what we're trying to make out of it. It's a game that is mixing technical skills and also kind of strategies and mind games with your opponent.
Open to anyone at any level and every age, foosball is for all.
This hobby is the best thing that I could have ever have happened to me, and I want to see that for other people as well.
Up next in the foosball community are competitions in Michigan and Ottawa coming up in October, and another competition right here at the Toronto Foosball Club coming up in December. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
When we come back, how the Saskatoon Hilltops are preparing for a big weekend matchup. Then, would you shell out a lot of money for these Star Wars sets?
Well, let's take a look at our rural forecast for tomorrow. Looks like some sunshine, a mix of sun and cloud in some areas, but all in all, a pretty nice day, above seasonal for the most part. I'll get out of the way here so you can see the numbers, and I won't trip on these cords here. 22 in Meadow Lake, Spiritwood at 20, right across the board. Pretty nice, a little cooler in Melfort and Hudson Bay at 16 degrees. And as we head down south, pretty nice, sunshine right across there. A mix of sun and cloud for Kenora, Broadview, and Carlisle. And there might be a little bit of fog in the morning, but looks like it'll clear all out by mid-afternoon. So pretty nice. And we're also going to take a look at Leroy, or as the French say, Leroy. No, it's Leroy, I've been told. Okay, it's a mix of sun and cloud, 16 degrees, the fog clearing up by the morning. And Leroy is, of course, where internet plans of up to 1 gigabyte are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatoon Hilltops are heading down Highway 11 this weekend to face the Regina Thunder. The Hilltops come into the game with a 2-1 record on the season, setting up for a battle for first place tomorrow. The Hilltops defense has been stellar over the last couple of games, notching 5 interceptions and only allowing 21 points. But they will face a Regina team that is averaging over 300 yards rushing on the ground, with a quarterback that's thrown only 1 interception this season. The Toppers know the challenge at hand, but say they're ready.
We just got a lot of quality players that have played a long time and understand their roles. And Coach Yalzi, Coach Turrington do a great job of putting players in good spots and understanding what they need to do and how they need to do it. And it's just a continuation of what we always believe we are and who we are.
The Hilltops and Thunder square off at Mosaic Stadium tomorrow night. It's the first of 3 straight road games for the Toppers, with games in Calgary and Edmonton following the contest in Regina. The Prince Albert Raiders are looking for revenge tonight when they host their Highway 11 rivals. The Raiders fell 4-1 to the Blades in their preseason opener in Saskatoon earlier this week. The puck dropped tonight at 6 p.m. at the Art Hauser Centre. The teams will meet in another rematch Saturday, with the Blades hosting in Warman. In what's being called the largest single site enforcement operation in the history of the department, U.S. Homeland Security and ICE detained 475 people at a Hyundai plant in Georgia.
This operation underscores our commitment to protecting jobs for Georgians and Americans.
Agents say the sting operation was the result of a months-long investigation after receiving many leads from community members and former workers. Authorities say the majority of those detained were Korean nationals who were working illegally. A spokesperson from the plant says it is cooperating. Amazon and Walmart say they will remove products from their stores that appear to promote the Hells Angels outlaw biker gang. It follows a request from Quebec's public security minister. T-shirts and baseball caps in Hells Angels colors were being sold online. Amazon says it's pulling those products due to non-compliance with its guidelines. Walmart says the items were sold by a third party and contradict the company's values. Quebec's public security minister says there's no room in the province for glorifying crime. Over the years, police in Quebec have arrested several alleged members of the Hells Angels as the province tries to curb the illegal drug trade and violent crime. Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon just over $1.42 a litre. That is down. The lowest price in town, $1.23.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco finished the day at $105.13 and Nutrien was down 63 cents. Coming up, new Lego with an out-of-this-world price tag. Then why an arrest video is going viral.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us for another great night of television, starting tonight at 7 with Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Well, Lego has revealed its most expensive set ever, and the force is strong in this one. The Lego Ultimate Collection Series Star Wars Death Star is the first ever set to sell for $1,000 US, or nearly 1,400 Canadian. It takes more than 9,000 pieces to assemble the iconic battle station, complete with 38 mini figures, including stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Lego is expensive.
It is, even for the small kids.
Yes. And so then the Star Wars upcharge, and it's a big box.
Yeah.
But that's quite expensive.
That is.
Don't ask for that for Christmas.
No, not even from Santa.
No.
Well, an arrest video is going viral after a well-known children's restaurant mascot was taken away in handcuffs.
We detained Chuck E. Cheese. Mike.
Police in Tallahassee, Florida, crashed a birthday party to arrest a Chuck E. Cheese mascot for credit card theft and fraud. Body cam video shows officers escorting the man who was still in costume and putting him in a squad car, but not before he had to take off the giant mouse head. I guess that probably would make it hard to fit in there. I don't know.
So, Chantal, do you think they went up to this man and said, you know, are you mouse? This name, the mouse, and we don't know his name, or like, how did they identify him?
Headshot mouse? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he was committing the fraud as Chuck E. Cheese.
That is possible.
I was almost going to say Mickey Mouse. Wrong mouse.
So many questions.
Wrong mouse.
I don't have the answers, but all good theories.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of questions. So.
Yes, I'll try and find the answers for you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
In the meantime, we've got a decent forecast, right?
Yes. We have a beautiful forecast for the weekend, especially on Sunday. Sunshine, above seasonal, high 20s. So it should be a very nice weekend, especially on Saturday when the Broadway Street Fair is underway. So it'll be a pretty nice weekend for that. There's going to be some vintage cars. I believe there's going to be Deadpool and Barbie there.
So many things to do.
There you go. No Chuck E. Cheese, though. Just Deadpool and Barbie.
Not that we know of anyway. But, no, it's a decent weekend shaping up. And next week is looking like double digits.
Yes, it's good. So we'll just hang on to it because we know things are going to change.
We will. All right. Well, Chad Hills is a very talented photographer of ours, and he stopped by the University Bridge earlier today, and he put up this little, video for us in
Okay, some traffic.
Yeah.
Okay, looks good. Yeah,
I think it was everybody leaving downtown way before we could go.
Right, right.
So.
You can see the cloud coverage. Look how it changes there.
Oh, look at that.
And the names on the screen are everyone who keeps this show on the rails, so we thank them. They do such an awesome job putting up with us, and especially me this week as I filled in for Jeff, so thank you to all of them. I won't read them all because I'm not that quick, and I've missed half already, but you know who you are, and we thank you. And thanks to the viewers for watching. Have a great night.
Have a good weekend. See you Monday. You're back Monday.
Yes, I am.